Bitcoin will hit $75,000? Question mark and exclamation point. On today's show, we'll be discussing what the hell is going on with Bitcoin. What are the markets looking like? We got grayscale news. Apparently, the BlackRock ticker is down. The website's down, but crypto prices and Bitcoin is still up. I am joined today with my good friend, Crypto Lifer. But first, before we bring him on, a little bit about myself. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every single day, we're coming at you live from our studio in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. And if it's your first time watching our show, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the mundane and boring and stale cryptocurrency news and information. We make it fun, engaging, exciting. And we talk about prices. We make you laugh. We make each other laugh. And we have a good time. So with that being said, I'm joined today. We gave Rob the day off. He had to handle some personal things. But joined today by my good friend. It's none other than the man himself, Crypto Lifer. Lifer, how you doing, man?
How's it going, man? How you been, Dave?
I've been good, man. I miss you, man. It's been like a week, but
that's cool, man. You can always call me and,
actually, we're texting last night. We're talking about this portfolio we're going to rate today. So excited for that. That's coming later. But man, just right off the bat, Lifer, you're a trader. What was yesterday like? Just no charts, just from like a psychological, emotional, in times of such euphoria, what do you try to focus on to make sure you're still putting in the proper trades from a mental standpoint?
Do you want the truth or do you
I want the
reality?
absolute 100% truth.
Because yesterday I left Tampa and we took off at 12:55.
Oh.
Super excited. I had woken up early in the morning, done my live stream. I made a call. See, I was in Florida for my family. Wanted to make sure they got some beach time. We hung out. So I was doing my morning updates at like 5, 6 a.m. And it was great for me because I called this cup and handle Saturday morning. Price blasted. Then I came on Saturday night, like, look at the update I gave you guys in the morning. Like somehow exactly the trade I gave played out. And then Sunday morning, same thing. Monday morning, I wake up. Price action was a little finicky, getting ready. I had a trade set for a big long. I get stopped out a little bit. Normally, I probably would have reassessed the market, had time to look at it, maybe re-entered, had to pack up all my stuff, head to the airport, right? Get to the airport, we get there perfect time, 20 minutes, we board, fly out. 45 minutes in on a JetBlue flight, they say the toilets aren't working. There's some type of pressure issue. We got to turn back to Tampa. And it's like a 2-hour and 50-minute flight to Boston. Like we're almost a quarter of the way there at this point, like maybe even more, a third of the way. Turn back down, get back down to Tampa. Then we sit there telling us they're going to get a sensor. 6-7 hours go by. Like, you think you're going to get on the plane. You think you're not going to get on the plane. I'm watching the price action. And finally we get on the plane. And this is the funniest thing. So we get on the plane and I'll share my screen for a second because this is insane, right? But so we get on the plane and let me see if I can find this on the 7-minute. And it was like a flip book. And I think there was a girl watching me because she was over the shoulder. And I just couldn't absolutely believe it, right? But I drew a flag here on this 7-minute. I had this this falling wedge. I said, watch this falling wedge to my trading group. I said the shorts are likely going to get squeezed. And then the thing just like absolutely started to erupt. I think it was actually it was this 7-minute. So I drew the 7-minute flag on the flight, right? And I play when the price action touches the 21 with low Stokes. That's like my thing. And I was in a flag. And I said, and then every 5 seconds I'm looking at this thing and then and it just was, I didn't really care about the fact that we waited all day. But I didn't get home till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Ugh. I wasn't in my regular trading studio. So it was it was weird for me because there was this huge euphoria, but I felt like I missed out a little bit of some gains too, because I wasn't I guess I could have been trading, playing Wi-Fi and stuff too, but I'd be on my phone. I didn't charge my iPad enough. It was one of those days, man. You know what I mean? It was just one of those days in my life where things were weird. We were stuck in the airport for 8 hours. It was weird. But got home and I went live last night because I was just so excited. But yeah, maybe not the exact answer you were looking for, but it was amazing though. I will be honest. And let's couple it into the whole weekend. I mean, dude, what are we at? We're above 33,000 right now. Come on, man. This is insane.
Yeah.
This is exciting. There will be some pullbacks and stuff like that now, but we just broke through that high that if there's a bear out there right now, I'm sorry, man, but
Well,
We
you
took
still
this
got
high out.
people. You still got
We took
people.
this high out.
I don't really want to call out names here, but you still got some people who are drawing charts and saying, "No, look, it's going to go to 35 and then going to dump to 7K."
I
I
probably
don't.
know who you're saying. I
Yeah,
don't know who you're talking about.
you probably know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
talking about.
Yeah.
Why
Perma
don't?
Bears, man. Like,
What is it,
you
chat?
know,
Who do you guys think I'm talking about? I'm curious to know. I might confirm, I might not confirm, but let us know what you think. Also, before we get any further, I do want to thank our channel sponsors, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. Today's show is brought to you by them, and our 4K stream is brought to you by them. If it wasn't for them, Cam's and the entire team, we would not be able to stream in 4K. When we made the switch from coax to fiber, we didn't know what the hell we're doing, but we picked up the phone, called Cam's Blue Wire Tech, and they helped us out. So if you want the same help and customer service we got, visit bluewiretech.com. Also, big thank you to Radix, the top layer 1 DeFi in our space. We have their largest decks coming on the show. It's going to be a fun conversation. Excited for that. So if you want to learn more about Radix, play in their sandbox, you want to learn what they're doing in their ecosystem, visit radixdlt.com or click the link in the description of this video. Crick Cats. Savvy Soloway. Anyways, now, guys, we got to start the show off with some fun, right? And so in honor of yesterday, and everyone was so euphoric. There was, I logged on to Twitter or X. On the top, you know how it shows the spaces? It was like, we're back. We're so back. Bitcoin 40K, question mark? So I'm like, man, this is exciting. But here is a visual representation of those people who remained on the sidelines, who have been calling for a lower low. Well, just an all-time low, right? Or a cycle low. We're going to go under 16K, while a lot of us are saying the cycle lows are in. Some people are just saying, well, the person in the middle is that person who is still stuck in stable coins, waiting for Bitcoin to get back to 10K. While me and you, Lifer, we're on each side there. We're having a good time. Bitcoin 35K. And
dang it.
boom. So yeah. Also, absolutely no one. Crypto Bros getting groceries tomorrow, as in today. So we get a little bit of but it's part of it is when the prices are down and the whole FTX thing happens, and you got these media pundits coming out on mainstream media when Bitcoin is down and down in the dumps and the market's dumping, everyone's like, oh, you guys are idiots and this is play money and rat poison. And then when we start moving again, just it's hard not to just right? Am I the only one here? It's not just to kind of throw it in their face a little bit, right? Am I off base, Lifer? Or am I kind of?
No, I mean, the thing is this. This is the thing. People are sitting in a state, they haven't been through a bear market before. See, me and you have probably had our hearts crushed before. Also, everyone talks about FOMO when it goes up. I missed the FOMO when it was down. You get it? I realized I should have one time in my life, I was in a bear market and I was like, the next bear market, I was like, man, I remember the last one. Yep. I didn't have enough FOMO down here. I wasn't greedy enough. I was like, I need to be, and this is my third time. So my third time now, so the first time I didn't do it. The second time I did it. The third time I really did it. I did it good this time. I was buying things on the low. I already have some positions that are up. I got into Casper to penny. It's at 5 cents. I did go in and out, but I've been building that bag. So I'm already 5x up on some positions that I dream are going to be 50x positions from where I'm at even now. So I'm looking for the 100x's, the 50, 60, 70x's. Billionaires are made in a bear market. Millionaires are made in a bull market. You got to start buying on the lows, baby. Pay attention.
Amen, man. And that is why it is so important when the prices start to tank and the average person leaves, they stop, they delete the apps on their phone, the portfolio tracker. They don't want to hear anything about crypto. Maybe they had money on FTX, maybe whatever the case may be. But this is why it's so important for you to pay attention during the bear market, because you're able to identify the projects that have the most potential going into the next bull. If you've been watching our channel, you would have known Solana was getting ready to rally. You would have known Chainlink is getting ready to rally. You would have known Bitcoin's getting ready to rally. But if you decided to tune out completely, You would have had no idea. You would have turned on the TV one day or opened up your Yahoo Finance app and seen headline after headline after headline, spot ETF, Bitcoin 35K, like, oh my God, what happened? Oh, I wish I would have gotten it. No, it pays. Knowledge costs money, whether you don't have it or you have it. Either way, it costs you money. Anyway,
Time is money.
Pissed off.
I mean, so you can give some of your time then. Like if you don't have money, you can always give some time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's how people get money. Like you're born here with time. No one's born with any money, really. I mean, your parents could give you, but like you as yourself, whatever you create comes from within you, right? So
yeah.
At least, you know, if you had given Sin City some time, you might have gotten some value out of that.
They get a round of applause for my friend Lifer. I love having you on the show, man. I feel like you're. Anyways,
it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
It does. You're right. You know what else makes sense? Crypto investors last year on the left versus crypto investors this year. Come at me, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. We draped in gold. And then
right there.
Bitcoin is above 35K, guys.
What is that?
How many of you are like that?
Gyrating. He's literally gyrating.
That's funny.
Lifer, you've been in the markets a very long time. What advice, let's say I'm it's my first time in the market, right? I just went through my first bear market. I'm coming in, I'm seeing a pump, I'm starting to feel euphoric. Do you have any advice or any piece of advice or any knowledge you would give to a first time cycle person, right? This is the first bear market leading into the first actual full bull market. Any advice you were given when we start seeing pumps like this and euphoria on Twitter and on social media?
100%. You just spiked an epiphany for me. Something, I feel like this is exactly what I'm supposed to say. Here's the deal. Get yourself a trading diary, all right? Which is a book where you write your trades in and what you're doing, okay? First off. Second, when you write a position, I'm going to use Casper as an example. I love the coin. You know, why not show a little bit? I have a position in it, but I also think it's something you should look up on your own. And you do your own research. And I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not pushing you to do anything. I'm just giving you what I believe is great information for you to think about. So you get into Casper and you say, oh, I love this coin. I want to get in. And you just write that. And then you throw $500 in it. And this pump happens today. You get really excited. One or two things are going to happen. You're going to sell because it's awesome. And then you're going to like not know when to get back in because maybe you don't know technical analysis too well too. You just sold on some euphoria. And then as the price is going up and down, you're going to and then you're going to hear some more news and they're going to tell you no more ETF. And if you were, felt the euphoria of that, you probably feel fear. And then if a month or two goes by and Casper goes up to 10 cents and then it does 50, and then that was the one, that was the one that your $5,000 or your savings was supposed to turn into 50 to 100 grand, right? So, and you can get beat up and you can lose. So what you can do is if you don't write down what you're going to do at first, you can either lose a great swing position or you can not take profits on something that turns into a bag holding position. So here's the point. You're starting to get in, you're getting excited. Maybe you did invest a few months before this pump and things are up. Know which ones you want to take profits on and ones that you wanted to hold long-term before this euphoria happens. Because if you don't write that down, these types of euphorias, as good as they are, might actually challenge your previous decision and might actually make you miss kind of what you plan on. If you don't have a plan, you're going to kind of be trading on emotions because the euphoria is going to make you sell or buy. You might also jump in. A lot of people, I bet, jumped in yesterday. A lot of people heard about Bitcoin finally. Oh my God. And it's above 30K. They waited for 25. And this is why. One last thing I got to say about Bitcoin that people don't realize and why it moves the way it does. All right. I was just writing a funny tweet, but I didn't finish. The idea is when Bitcoin makes a move, you have to remember there was all these people and there was a majority of, and I don't like to say YouTubers, but there was a good amount of influencers out there when we were right here telling everyone that like 7K, 14K, Bitcoin's never seen a recession, and like I didn't get into the news like that. Like I was a traditional guy and I just studied hidden bullish divergence. And like I've been saying if you've watched my channel, I've been saying since like August 23rd here, 26th, I've been saying the RSI is swinging down on the 3-day and the price is swinging up. I said, that's hidden bullish. I said 95% of the time you make a high inside that was the high inside of the divergence. And that's exactly what happened. Like I wasn't a psychic. I wasn't a soothsayer. I didn't use 1,000 indicators. I didn't read into things. I didn't tell everyone where price was going. I didn't tell everyone I knew a damn thing. I said, I have no idea where price action is going. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. But I said, but I've seen this indicator 100 times in my life and I've traded it, and it 95% of the time, or I almost feel like 100, it breaks the high inside the high. So like I just kept showing TA and trading the TA the way it told me to trade it. And look what happened, right? But there was a lot of people. So because everyone was telling people were going lower, people waited on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And they were like emotional too. They sat there, well, I'll get, and then they started telling themselves they knew where price was going to go. It's going to go sub 25. It's going to go sub 19 again. I'm going to be able to get it at 17. You know how much, I'll say one last thing. You know how much guts it took me to buy down here? I remember the night where they said that building blew up in some type of nuclear thing. Like they said they were shelling a nuclear building in the Ukraine. I'll never forget it. It was 3 a.m. It was like the most fear. And it was like price action was like somewhere in here. And I was like, man, I just got to start buying. And I'm like, I'm buying in here. I'm buying in here. The FTX dump, you know, I wake up in Florida the next morning. I was in Hollywood. I'm just buying. This was a cup and handle. And it took me 3 years of being through 3 bear markets and studying hours of technical analysis to know what weekly bullish divergence was and to trust it, because you can know what it is, but do you trust it? I've seen it so many times. And so if it was that hard for me to buy, you think some average person's going to be able to get that price? So if it's super hard for a long-term trader to know, to push through the fear to get in, that was super, like you had to really have tons of guts to get in there. So like what I'm trying to say is you don't get great prices given to you. Like you got to work for them. So like people thought they were just going to be able to give these prices away again. Like these were blessings. So all these people waited on the sidelines and now they're afraid. Damn, what if it keeps going to 40K now? And what happens is the people that didn't buy down here, now their emotions force them in at the top. It's just, it's a vicious cycle, you know? Sorry to be so, I just hope I wanted to cover that idea.
No, that's great. I actually have a little piece of advice as well. So for me, before I buy any crypto, right? If I start say, okay, I'm going to start ramping up my DCA on Chainlink or whatever tokens may be, I already have a plan of what I'm going to do. For example, my Bitcoin, I don't plan on ever selling my Bitcoin. So no matter what I buy, I don't plan on selling. So entry and exit price, really entry price obviously matters more than exit price for me because obviously I don't plan on exiting. Other things like some altcoins, I'm like, okay, I analyze, I think Chainlink can 50x. I do want to take some profit. So here are the targets that I'm going to start taking profit. That way, when the euphoria is high and Chainlink hits your target, you have a plan in place to start DCA and laddering out. Now, if you haven't done that and you have a bag that you don't plan on adding more to, evaluate it now. Take a look and say, okay, what's my midterm? What's my long term? What do I want a quick 5 or 10x on? What's my lottery ticket? What's my 100x? What is one I'm not ever selling? What is one I might plan on using in the future as a gas token because I want to play in their sandbox, whether it's Web3 or gaming or DeFi, whatever the case may be? Have a plan in place before you buy. That way, when things start happening and emotions run high, we know you make bad decisions when your emotions are high, right? Whether it's when you're arguing with your family or whether you're investing in cryptocurrency or the stock market, we make bad decisions when our emotions are high. So when your emotions are not high, that is when you make your decisions. So again, like I said, before you buy, have a plan in place. Also, have a plan in place to hit the like button. We have a few new members here. I want to give a shout out to Timmy, Wick, Crypto Locks, Del Monte, Crypto Bear Baker, Crypto 420, Jamie Nicholas 86, Look at the Runes, Tiberius, Nando 44, and the swashbuckling Skelly what? Skelly what? Skelly what? Skelly what? To all of you, hola! I don't got Robin's hola. I'll give him that. Robin does a good hola, but here we are without his hola. Now,
It's not the same.
Guys, I want to show a video. This was on the Joe Rogan podcast. So let me find this guy's name. This guy's name was Peter Zahan. This was recorded on January 7th of this year, okay? January 7th of this year, so 10 months ago. 10 months ago.
There's no intrinsic value to this asset. And now it's starting to be priced appropriately. So it has a, what's Bitcoin at? 16,000? It has another 17,000 to go down.
Duh, really?
Yeah, there's no intrinsic value to this product.
It was so funny.
And do you think that people have just inherently like lost faith in the idea behind crypto because of FTX?
Well,
Because
it became an ideology, and whenever you invest based on an ideology, you're going to make some decisions that are a little divorced from math.
And what do you mean by ideology?
Well, the people who really like crypto are convinced that it's the currency of the future and that a decentralized ledger is the way to go, and that anything that is controlled by a government entity is by definition a negative, and if it's done by the private sector freely, it will be better. And that's just not how currency works. Currency is a method of...
So how does currency work, Peter?
The thing is, I don't believe what he just said.
Probably smarter than I am, right?
I don't believe what he said, because that's not what I believe. I believe that there's going to keep printing the dollar, and obviously Bitcoin's going to have. Of course, we need some type of other, historical. And Bitcoin may be challenged by other currencies over time. I just see it as digital gold. Like, it's just obvious to me, man. Like, can he figure out that? See, he never studied the hash rate, and I don't think he understands how the difficulty rate goes up over time, and how there's more, more transactions get batched, and he doesn't even understand what pooling is inside of a mining pool. Like, he doesn't understand hash rate. See, once you understand difficulty level and hash rate, that's when it clicked for me. See, everyone was like, "Bro, Bitcoin, infinite supply, or it's finite supply." And there's also like, once you get that, you can even just get that and have the 8-year-old math, and that's good, supply and demand. But once I figured out the hash rate and the fact that the difficulty level would increase, bringing in the miners, and then more miners could come in, and then as it got harder, less miners had to leave, and then like the cycle would continue of the in and outs. You know what I mean? I was sold on the concept of Bitcoin. So like, he just must not understand the hash rate. Like, someone has to explain to him. Because if you're a mathematician, and I'm pretty science and math minded, I can see things. Like, I can understand what a Hoffman apparatus. I've studied chemistry. Like, I can see myself doing chemistry late at night in my house. Like, I like that type of stuff. I understood that. I understood this. It all made sense to me. So I just don't think he doesn't have the aptitude, which is, it's okay. He could admit that. Or B, he needs to have the proper education, because he's missing some key components of Bitcoin.
You think it's ignorance? Like he just doesn't get it, or he just chooses not to get it? Right? Is he, because information, right? Intelligent, like information and knowledge is out there. It's just a matter of if you want to go get it or not. So for me, it's you being lazy, or you being in a vacuum, or being a echo chamber of what you hear your colleagues saying, and that this is Bitcoin, this is not Bitcoin. It's funny. Yesterday, I was speaking with a guy named Rock. He's, I think, like 81 years old. Ran a wealth management firm his entire life. Series 7, Series 63, securities, bonds, I mean, he's done it all, right? We start talking about Bitcoin. Well, what happens if the governments decide to ban it? I'm like, they can't ban it.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It was a good conversation, Lifer, because it came off as he was genuinely curious to know the answer to that question. He wasn't like being facetious or being an ale, right? So I explained to him why that wouldn't work. He said, well, what keeps its value? Why wouldn't we just, go back to gold? I said, we would be literally going backwards. I was like, the main thing people don't take into account is anytime each central bank has a ledger, right? They update their ledger. It's like, not every time, if I send you 100 million in gold, and we're central banks and we send money back and forth to each other, every time we do a transaction, I'm not going to send you the gold and you're going to send it back. We keep a ledger, but there has to be trust there. So whether it's central banks not trusting each other or us not trusting the central banks, I think that's going to be the biggest drawback to going back to something like a gold standard. So what do we need? We need a decentralized public ledger that's ran by miners and people that are not politically affiliated or motivated. They're motivated by money. They're motivated by keeping the network up. They're motivated by keeping the network strong and resistant to hacks. That's where we are, and that's where we're going. If you listen to the Mark Moss keynote speech he gave at Bitcoin Amsterdam, I've watched that thing 4 or 5 times, and it's information I already knew. But the way he packs it together and puts it, it truly makes you realize that, wow, this is the last 50 years since the 70s when the US dollar went completely off the gold reserve, has been the only time in history of money that we've had currency not backed by anything. It's essentially, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a trial, a test, right? Yeah. And so that is going to come to an end. We're going to go back to money being backed by something. The question is, what is it going to be backed by? I'm in the camp it's going to be backed by something like a commodity, but being in the digital age, what's the best digital commodity out there? It's Bitcoin. Can I get some bullhorns, Rocco? I know I kind of went on a rant there, but man, I'm just so passionate about this stuff.
No, it's good. I like this. That's what I do. And that's when you're well-spoken, and that's when people hear you the most, because it's coming from your heart. It's coming from your passionate desire to teach and to get the word out there. Like, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Give this man a round of applause.
Ooh, I like your round of applause. Like Fenway, right? The Fenway round of applause.
yeah, I had to go out there.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this. So this has some impact on the crypto world. So we don't have a Speaker of the House, which is the third most important person in politics in the United States. Okay. It goes president, vice president, then Speaker of the House. All right. Now, we've had Jim Jordan failed. The guy we had, McCarthy, gone. Not making this a political thing, but why am I showing you this? Because look who the leader is. It's Tom Emmer, who is, I would say, a Bitcoin and crypto champion, right?
Really
now,
is,
I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, and he's not a real Republican. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just thinking about, okay, how does it affect our space? And we know that the speakers are the ones that essentially bring bills to the floor to vote on. So if we get someone like Tom Emmer, take his politics out of it. We know he's pro-crypto. What does this mean, Lifer? What are your thoughts on this? What's your reaction here? If he does get the speaker position here, Tom Emmer.
I never tweet political stuff. Being in my business, I never want to turn someone away because they're of a political party. You know what I mean? I want them. I'm hoping I could open their mind, and through cryptocurrency, they can find truth. You know what I mean? So I don't want to turn anyone away. But for the first time ever, I retweeted something recently, and it was Tom Emmer. And after hearing him speak when they grilled Gary Gensler, he became a hero, man. Like, he really talked to that dude. He put truth to power, man. He spoke truth to power. He really stuck to his guns. I felt like a vibrance out of him, and someone that I could believe in, someone that if you went and voted for him and you sat in some town hall in your local town or wherever he came to talk to you, he would go and bring what you told him down to the Capitol and get it done. It sounds like he works for the people. He wants to do what the people elected him to do. So I really found him amazing. It would be cool if he did become Speaker of the House. Now, I don't know a lot of his other stuff, so people could attack me on the other side, because I haven't done like tons of research. But I'm pro crypto, everyone, and I'm living a life where I'm a CEO of a crypto business. This is my life. This is what I do. I'm a trader, a crypto guy, an internet dude. I can't, I want to see politicians that are pro cryptocurrency, and he's the one that has most voice boisterously and really out there. Like, he really came out, and so I'm going to support that, man. I would love if he became Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be bullish for crypto, as like I mentioned, the speaker. And I'm not a big politics guy here, but I do know that they're the ones that bring the legislation to be voted on. So can we see crypto start to sit in the front seat instead of the back seat and be like, oh, well, next one, or tie it to this one, or add it as an amendment to this one? No, it potentially could get a fair shake at being a standalone legislation that gets passed to put people like Gary Gensler in his place, put people like the FDIC in their place. And so for me at least, it's
and they say they care about the American people. Like, they gave everyone a scare with Binance US. They were selling everything into Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin was up in Binance US because everyone was just dumping their altcoins into it because they were making think they were going to get seized. People trade KuCoin for years. Then it gets so like the average American's like sitting all around, always trying to figure out like where they can trade, where they feel comfortable. It's just like, let's have regulation. Let's have it out there. Like, you know what I mean? It's so horrible.
I agree. You know what else is horrible? Is this. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF no longer listed on the DTCC's website. So yesterday, we saw the official ticker, or what we think is going to be the official ticker of the BlackRock ETF hit, what was it? The depository something clearing something. I'm sure it's down here, but Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. There we go. It was listed on there. Then news came out, and we saw the filing. BlackRock was planning to seed their ETF this month. Seeding means preparing for it. They're buying. So whether they were buying or not, or people were speculating, price started to pump. That's when we started to get to 35K. But people noticed that it is no longer on the website anymore, the ticker. So BlackRock's proposed ETF is no longer listed on the DTCC website. So this is from James Seyfert, a Bloomberg ETF analyst, and I'm guessing the SEC made a call to BlackRock. And Eric Balchunas, which holds the same position, but I think he's a senior analyst there, said, not totally shocked. My guess is they were told to or want to wait until they are days, not weeks or months away, insinuating that we're still weeks or months away. Now, a lot of people, in my opinion, overreacted to this. At this point, I don't think anyone can say we're not getting a spot ETF, right? After Gary Gensler and the SEC didn't appeal the Grayscale case, after we're seeing him communicate with the filers, which they've never done before, actually asking questions, asking for more info, working together, which is what the damn regulator is supposed to do. Finally, then we see him on these interviews he's doing, change a tone, change a demeanor, change of verbiage used. So I'm pretty sure we're on the same page. We're getting an ETF. So whether it's months away or weeks away, I was actually kind of happy because yesterday I tweeted, I didn't buy enough Bitcoin, and I truly feel that way. So for me, this is great. Gives me more opportunity to buy Bitcoin sub, whatever, 40K, 38K. Then we had this. The DTCC website went down. So Eric Balchunas tweeted, said, it's definitely not used to this kind of attention or action. It lives behind the scenes, very boring. So the idea is every crypto person, bombarded the website to see if it was still on there. Guys, we crashed it. We crashed the DTCC website. Good job, you freaking degenerates.
Crypto freaks, we love
crypto
it.
Freak. But any insight, Lifer, onto them removing the ticker from the website? Are you reading are people reading too much into that? Do you share any sentiment there as far as either way, one way or the other?
I've never seen that happen. You know what I mean? Like, I've never watched, I didn't even really watch that website before this happened. I didn't give it too much, of a grain of salt. In my mind, I'm a long-term Bitcoin holder. You know what I mean? Like I said, I bought that Bitcoin at 19K. It's still doing well. Like, I'm feeling really good about the places where I allocated. Again, I think you could always make the case for I could have bought more. I think that's always going to be the case for someone as passionate and how much we love Bitcoin. But another thing I want to kind of make a comment about what you said. You said two things. 5 minutes ago, you made a statement about how Bitcoin basically no one runs it, right? It's run by the miners, right? The incentive to make money off of it. And it's less, it's not polarizing politically, right? It doesn't have these anchors that bring it on either side of the spectrum. And why I bring that up is you just made me think too, didn't we just Band-Aid the government shutdown? Isn't it just 45 days? Like, It's not really like we have a solution, right? So people are going to if no one's talking about it now, they're going to almost like they're using this house thing to make you forget the fact that we really haven't come up with a solution of whether they're going to shut that government down. And why I'm saying this is I'm leading into the power the SEC really has at this point. Gary admitted at his last grilling that if we shut down, he will have a lack of resources. He won't be able to help companies ICO, like if a company or IPO, right? If someone wants to come out, he's like, oh, we'll have to put on all those on hold. So the entire United States will have companies that can't go public. We're going to slow down basically innovation and movement. He also, if he's getting slammed by Brad Garlinghouse, and they're spending a lot of money on lawyers, so you can only assume it must take a good portion of the SEC's time and the government paid lawyers that they have, which can never be at the caliber that the XRP lawyers are. And then they also are trying to appeal all these ETFs. It just looks like they're just overwhelmed at this point. You know what I mean? It just from a stand, it's obvious that organization is overwhelmed. I don't see how they can properly do their job without some type of reorganization. That was also brought up during those hearings with the House and the Senate. And what was proposed is that needs to be a board. And there can't just be one unelected official bureaucrat that really controls the SEC. It needs to be a board, elected people, and there has to be, a voting system there so we don't just get stuck in these lockstep processes where someone obviously is controlled by ex Goldman Sachs, connections.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. I just feel like we're at a point now where Gensler just doesn't have a choice, right? He doesn't have a choice. He's facing pressure. And we know that the way the SEC, as far as them voting, it's 5 commissioners. One of them is the chair, which is Gary Gensler. Majority rules, right? So we know of 2 commissioners who are outspoken against Gensler. That is Hester Peirce and someone else. I forgot their name. Forgive me. But we just need 1 or 2 more people to flip. And then no matter what Gary does or says, it doesn't matter. So I feel like he's at an inflection point now where he's like, look, fine. You can have Bitcoin. You can possibly even have Ethereum. But you exchanges are not off the hook. And we saw that from news that we shared on the show on Friday. Going into next year, what the SEC is going to be targeting, and it is some exchanges and some of the crypto projects. Okay, let's take a look here at some analytics here. So looking at Bitcoin over the quarters here. So we came out the gates with a boom, right? 71% in the green quarter 1. Then we had a more modest 7% move for Bitcoin in Q2. We drew down 11.5% in Q3, and we are starting Q4 off over a 25% for Bitcoin. And if we take a look at the month of October up 25.5%. Obviously, those numbers are the same as a Q4. Will this be the largest October we've had, with the biggest coming at 60% back in 2013? If we do get an approval of a spot ETF in October, the answer is clearly yes. Will we see 30%, 40% speculating here? I do want to, that kind of leads me into this article from CoinDesk. You know, the title of today's show does say 75K for Bitcoin. And Lifer, I'm going to be very curious to get your take here. So after briefly pushing past $35,000 towards the end of the U.S. trading day before dropping back down, Bitcoin is continuing its march back towards 35,000, up 12% as the Asian markets open. Now, Bitcoin is in an anti-gravity phase and could hit $75,000 in the coming months, said Jack Tan from the Woo Network. The sudden spike is just a preview of what will happen if ETFs actually get approved. A lot of this expected impact on the Bitcoin price has already been priced in since 25K, as the GBTC discount has been narrowing to 16% as of last Friday's close. Now, I do want to bring to your attention, yesterday, we saw $30 billion in spot trading volume. We haven't seen that in a very, very long time. Trading volume on, if we take a look at CoinMarketCap, closing in on 100 billion. Lifer, we were at under 25 billion just a week ago. So this is an actual move. And I want to ask you, Lifer, if Mr. Wu is right, and we do get to 75K by the end of the year, what does that look like? What does a move to something like 75K look like? And if that is too far out of the realm of possibilities, and this guy is on one, give us your thoughts on end of the year. If this narrative continues and people start buying up Bitcoin and whatever the case may be, what is your best case for end of the year Bitcoin, and is 75K in the cards based off of what the charts are saying?
It sounds fun together. I always feel like I channel the audience's energy, and I always come up with something fun. You know, it's like we're all like a conscious collective. There's a mastermind going on when we're all here together. I do believe we're all connected somehow, even if we're not in the same room. So with everyone here, I feel an excitement. So I got a blank chart out here, and I'm just kind of do what I creatively do. I consider TA a bit of an art and a science, you know. But I mean, here, look at this. Look at this little bit of a, you know, an ascending triangle. Like, now, do we make a blast, right? I mean, we have gone very nicely above resistance. And when Bitcoin moves fast, it moves fast. And it tells me that it can easily get to 37,000 pretty easily. There's not a lot of resistance here on the 2-week chart. 2 weeks, a very substantial chart, you know? It's got a lot of weight to it. And once we get up in here, we could form a base. If we form a base, we'd, you know, consolidate, make some type of flag. Even if we made a falling wedge, something like this, you'd be looking for this to be your next measured move, right? And that does get me somewhere to about 59,000. Now, 75, like, I mean, again, we could get this crazy euphoric push. I see Bitcoin. And the reason why I said before, remember all the people on the sidelines that were told they were going to get it lower. There's still people now. I'll get 25K. I'll get 22K. They're still convinced. Someone's still whispering in their ear because they were in denial down here. Now they're in denial up here again. When we get up to 40K, they're going to be like, then they're going to be convinced then at that point, they're never going to get 25. They're going to FOMO in again. So that's a lot of money on the sidelines. That's your brother, that's your sister, that's your cousin, that's your uncle. That's all those people that like watch you made all your money on Bitcoin and kept saying they were going to get in, but they never really did. They're going to FOMO in. That's your cab driver. That's your Uber guy. They like it. They read about it. They half know about it, And so there's a potential here for a big move up to about 59,060. And then, we could froth over. You know what I mean? And look at where I'm sitting there. But that's more in this short of time on the channel, on the chart, like all the way to it just, to me, it would be ridiculous. On the 2-week chart, you would have to just see 1, 2, 3 candles. Like it would just be like, you know what I mean? Just because we don't have much time for that to happen. So it looks unlikely for me just based on the charts. But Bitcoin has done things that, you've never thought possible. Look at this. Look at this 2-week section. Look at this 3 weeks. It went from 17,000 all the way up to 34,000. It doubled in 3 weeks. If Bitcoin doubles here in the next 3 weeks, that is $70,000. It's done it before. It could do it again.
For me, what's exciting and also scary to some people is that this is such a new asset class, right? When you talk about a $1 trillion asset that's only been around for 13 years, right? 14 years in 08, but we don't really count 08, 09, even 10. Let's count from 11 on. So 13, we'll call it 14 years. There's certain scenarios that Bitcoin hasn't gone through. There's certain scenarios that we don't know how Bitcoin's going to react. When you look at something like the S&P or the bond market, you can look at decades of history and say, okay, when economics are like this is what it does. When unemployment rate's like this is how price reacts. When inflation is high, this will, so on and so forth. But we haven't had that. But that's exciting. And to some people, I can understand why that's scary as well. For me, we've never had this level of institutional desire to want to have exposure to Bitcoin. And we've been told for years, we need legal clarity. We need a rail for them to be able to get in on, right? We need a train stop that they see fit to jump on the Bitcoin train. And here we go. A spot ETF is that stop. It is that platform. And I don't understand the people that don't get that are sitting here saying that a spot ETF is bad. It just blows my mind. I don't get it. We're going to have a spot ETF. You're talking about trillions of dollars that people are managing on behalf of their clients that are now going to have exposure to this asset that we know is going to go through a supply crunch, is mathematically programmed to go up in price, because if it doesn't, the network fails. So I don't know how many times I got to say it. I don't know how many, if I'm trying to convince you. I've definitely convinced myself, but it's for you to sit there and say we can double in 2 weeks. I say no. I think we can double in 1 week. When a spot ETF gets approved, I think we can see a $35,000 1 week candle. I really do.
I got a calculator here, right? I believe too, because they're going to gobble it up. Look at this: 41 million. There's 41 million families that own millions of dollars in the world, right? You could, and so there's families have millions of dollars. All right, let's say 41 million. You times that by a $2,500 allocation into Bitcoin. $2,500 allocation, right? One more zero, right? 100, right? And you divide that, okay, by the price of Bitcoin at 35,000 right now. It's 2.9 million Bitcoins, right? I'm just saying, like, that's if they one time put in $2,500. They're not going to do that. They're going to be allocating. So, like, I don't think people realize, and you got a scarce asset that's about to get halved. I think even the most optimistic Bitcoin holder might actually be pleasantly surprised. I think even I don't realize what's coming for me. There's a a big move that could be happening for us. And again, I'm open-minded to anything we could. And one last thing I want to say, Bitcoin has never been through this blah, 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 right? Everyone says that. How about I blow your mind and take you on a ride inside of a virtual reality thought process that you have never even considered? The fact that when '08 happened, Bitcoin didn't exist, but it did because the womb is there. Like a woman has a womb, and the baby then comes and grows inside that womb. But without the womb, right? The womb was waiting for the baby. When '08 happened, it was a womb. Bitcoin then grew inside the womb and came out. So yes, it may never existed during these processes, but it was born into these processes. And so to me, it's ready for the next process. It did go through these processes before. It's like I don't know if you can, it's almost like you have to kind of really see this in another realm. I don't know if I can convey what I just said, but it's already ready for this recession. It's already ready for things that people say it hasn't seen before, because it wouldn't have evolved out of the guy was writing it when he saw what happened. He made it for that. That's what he made it for. And it was less than a penny. It's already lapped the dollar 1,000 times, 1 million. It's insane.
Yeah.
It was less than a penny, everyone. It took 10 years. What do you think is going to happen in 10 years?
Yeah. Again, it's mathematically programmed to go up in value. That's the whole point, right? As the miners' rewards get cut in half, right? It has to. It just has to. And man, Bitcoin's such a beautiful thing. You know what else is a beautiful thing? Is the people watching, all of you. You're all beautiful things. We appreciate you. We got 316 viewers, 181 likes. It's not bad. We can be better. If you're new here, say hello. We want to personally welcome you. And so with that being said, I'm going to give some shout outs here. And I know a lot of you, we say your name. You say, I'm not new here. We know, but we love you. We just want to give you a shout out. So D. Jenny from the block, 3 Much Crypto, Vitality, Guns and Loaded, Lazarus Hand, Andrea, Jamie, Ty Sanders, Sam, AI Gis, Ilian Vasilev, Love Learning, MD, Shane Stein, Crypto Grady, BRMC67, Dan Dickens, Gala Music Player, Bernie, and Tox. To all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Man, what a great show. We haven't even gone into the markets. We haven't even done the portfolio rating, but it's important to have these conversations when the markets are low and when the markets are high. We stay consistent in the information we give you. And with that being said, you guys, just to take a look at where the rest of the markets are, we already did a chart on Bitcoin, so we're going to skip over that one, but we're still flirting with that $34,000 level, up 20% over the last 7 days. Ethereum finally got a kick in the rear. It is moving. It did reach 1,800, but is pulling back. A lot of these tokens are pulling back here on the 1 hour, except Binance token apparently is not. Tether dominance continues to go up. $84.2 billion market cap for Tether. XRP 55 cents. Solana had a big run, $30.74. There was a lot of, not going to name names here, but there was a lot of channels, a lot of people that were telling you that were trying to FUD you out of Solana and saying, $1.2 billion of Solana is about to get liquidated and cascading liquidations from the FTX thing. And on this show, we broke it down for you and we told you, no, it's not going to happen because of X, Y, and Z. And now we're seeing, in fact, they didn't sell. They staked it. They staked the Solana. Exciting things happening in the Solana ecosystem. Fire Dancer, they're saying 1 million transactions per second. Now, I know we've heard that so many times from layer ones. It remains to be seen whether they do get up to that 1 million transactions per second. But just to have the ability to do it, I think is great. Solana's user face, excellent. Got a great developer team working on dApps on the protocol. Cardano, 27.8 cents. That is up 12.5% over the last 7 days. Doge and Tron rounding out the top 10. We have Polygon crossing 60 cents. Up 20%. And then we're seeing a pullback in Chainlink, up 37% over the week, but down 2.75% over the last 24 hours. Lifer, I was not done buying Chainlink. Okay. We saw a massive rally from $7 to $10, $11. If I want to start buying Chainlink again, right, what are some levels that I need to have marked on my chart? Because I don't plan on selling Chainlink until it gets to over 3 figures more, potentially more, right? So,
Yeah.
what are some levels I need to look out for, and people that I need to look out for that are interested in maybe getting some Chainlink? They're hopping on the Chainlink bandwagon. They're excited of what they're gonna do here.
So funny is like I see people use hundreds of indicators, all sorts of crazy concepts, but like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder.
Mm.
This is why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy, because like what I point out is so obvious that it like stayed as a nickname, right? But like there's your cup, there's your handle. You want to pull the fib from that impulse. You probably hit a golden pocket, which you did. 706 retracement. You were at a high volume node on the VRVP, right? And boom. So I just wanted to like kind of like, it's just amazing how these things play out like over and over again. I'll search for that exact pattern system over and I'll find that probably 5 or 6 times and I'll search 500 assets. I'll find that in the next 2 weeks. It also made what's called an ascending triangle. It's, anyway, where do we go for here? Let's take a look at the weekly. You got to take away all my moving averages. I take away all the indicators and I go to the weekly. You can leave the VRVP on. Also, you want to click this off so you want to just see your whole chart in its entirety, nice and clean. Now, anyone that knows anything about charts knows accumulation. All right. I'm going to show you Nakamoto games because it's going to show you exactly what you're seeing here. Right. And the reason why I'm talking about it, and I'm going to delete all this real fast, bear with me. I'm just going to show you a kind of a fractal, an idea. So you can take this on any other asset and you can trade anything in the world. See this? This is accumulation. This thing was down at 5 cents. This is an amazing decentralized gaming coin, metaverse gaming coin. And I mean, it's up 10x already. It went to 86 cents and it was down at 5/10 of a cent. We found this coin even a year in the last bull run. It was coming out in 2021, I remember. But the point is just remember this, see this consolidation and rounded bottoms pay the bills. That's like an old saying from my first trading group. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, baby. You start getting these rounded bottoms, I start accumulating. So
you say
let's
round
go back.
bottoms pay the bills?
Rounded bottoms pay the bills. So let's go back to Chainlink. Okay. And we're going to just kind of bring you into this idea. Look at this, right? You're getting the rounded bottom, right? You're getting the consolidation, the same thing. You're going to see a long period of time, a year or two, price action going up and down inside of a range. So to me, I mean, you had a really good time to gobble Chainlink up between the time 871, right? And that low bar area about 5. And then you got that little dip, which is a blessing in June when, remember, all those altcoins tanked. I remember Matic was like the one everyone was like, oh my God, Matic. Like, I took advantage of that time to buy some bags of things that I like because I was like, you know what? We go lower, we can't go much lower, but these are pretty good prices. And then you also see, look, previous resistance became support. There's your resistance. There's the bounce. It's so interesting, right? Now, this is obviously following Bitcoin. You can see, similarly, they're all in these like kind of parabolic moves. And what you're going to look for is, eventually we're going to be wanting to see some type of pullback for Chainlink. So you're going to get overbought. I would look for a weekly or a 3-day, what's called bearish divergence. So you're looking for Chainlink to start to get some type of bearish div. I mean, that's a pretty big wick, but we may not feel it. This 3-day has 4 hours. It's actually going to close today. So if you ever came back down to the top of this range, definitely 872 is an area you want to be looking for, right? But there's a chance that even it can come back into the pit here and challenge this POC. It depends on what we're going to happen for Bitcoin in the next 4 or 5 days. Bitcoin could do another massive rally and pull Link all the way back up to 12. And then we're going to be looking at another. Look, there's really no resistance for Link up until we get to $12. I personally would be watching the 1 hour time frame, the 15, and I'd be making some type of what are called flags. I'd be drawing flags and seeing, where Chainlink really kind of has its local, bounce. So for me, and if I really like Chainlink, like you said, and you have a great mentality, like when you brought up Bitcoin anywhere between 38 and 39, 35, I like that you said that because it let me know that you have a long-term perspective. I mean, that's, I would be looking at Chainlink if you're lucky, 881. And if it ever came back to this POC at 729, but if Bitcoin starts to lose a key area, things start to move, then it will dump Chainlink. But for now, I mean, you got some previous resistance and support. And if you flip on our moving averages, yeah, I mean, anytime you get near a 200 SMA on the 4 hour, that's also going to be a really good place, I feel like, to allocate. So like if you see your price action getting near the 200 again and near the 4 hour, could be a good place to get back in if it hits with a key point of control like that. So I'd be looking 763 to 870 as like a steal because it was there for so long. It's really made a nice base there. You may not be able to get it there again after one more dip.
Yeah. Let me show you just a visual representation of one of the main reasons I am so bullish on Link. Here it is. Bottom right, universal gas token, Web3 dApps from any chain, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Algorand, Hedera, name it. Plus enterprises, banks, companies, hedge funds, whatever the case may be. All goes into one. Contracts, payment abstraction, bam, Chainlink token is the universal gas token, plus staking, plus what's the new they introduced a new thing as well. Forgot the name of it. But I look at use case, what are you doing, and what's going to drive the value of your token up. To me, the only negative I can point out to Chainlink is their circulating to total supply ratio. But man, this is why I'm so bullish on Chainlink. So we did have a couple of super chats.
What kind of X you trying to get? Well, can I?
Go ahead, Lifer, go ahead.
What's your price prediction or range? Like if you get in now at 10, where do you desire to sell?
Me personally, so
yeah.
So about 50, I would say 40 to 50% of my Chainlink bag, I plan on taking profit between 150 and 300. 150 bucks and 300. That's my range. I know people are going to say, "Oh, you'll take profit at 100." No, I won't. I won't take profit at 100. I won't take profit at 120 unless something changes on the protocol level. Then I'll have to reevaluate. But if everything goes as it is continuing to go and they fulfill their roadmap and what they're trying to do, I'm not going to touch my bag until minimum $150 per Chainlink token. Minimum. There's a bag I'm holding out to $500 to $800. That's just how bullish I am on Chainlink, man. I know people are looking at you. People are probably watching saying, this dude's crazy. This dude's crazy. But what you guys...
You want to hold until the next bull run? Like, are you willing to do that?
Look, man, if
or you think we're going to hit it in this bull run? You think we'll hit 500?
Listen, man,
like this?
Chainlink CCIP has a potential to host. This is going to sound crazy, but global liquidity. If liquidity starts to move on chain, whether it's tokenizing real world assets, which you know that's a narrative that's picking up, which there's money being spent on learning about it. Plus, we're dying for an interoperability in protocols and blockchains, the bridge hacks, everything we're seeing. Like, if I want to send money from an Ether network to a Solana network, I got to go through 20 steps, potentially losing money, all the gas fees. It's ridiculous, man. It's not practical. But if I can, with one click, move money that's in the Ethereum network, do something on a Solana network by clicking one button, that's it. And the liquidity is there, and the Chainlink token is used for gas, plus I can stake it, man. And you're integrating enterprises. I sound like a moon boy here, but man, I look at practicality, right? I look at adoption, practicality, and that's what I'm seeing with Chainlink. Do I think get to $500 this cycle? I do. Unless something fundamentally changes. Am I crazy? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm crazy. I'm curious.
Somebody already did.
That would be a 200x, right?
That would be a 200x. Yeah. Wow. Hey, man, I stand by my word. Okay, I stand by my word. Hey, and if we you aim for the stars, land on the moon, right? We only land on 200. I'll be happy too. Okay. So every Tuesday, we're a community first channel, right? We started this channel for the community. We love the community. We love leave it there, Rocco. We love when the community supports our channel. So big shout out to Crypto Surfer, who has been a channel member for 5 months. Sammy Cup and Handy with 4 fire emojis, 4 of them, not 2, 4 of them. Also, Jimmy said $5, said, David didn't do it. I'm setting the club level to 180. The number is actually 250. 250. How close are we to 250, by the way?
30 more likes.
Guys, we're only 30 more likes to 250. That's the club limit, okay? You want to open up the club?
It'll be a 50x, right? Because it'll be 10x to 100. It'll be a 50x. Sorry.
It will be 50x, yeah. Also, Dixie Flatline $5 says, smash the like and let's get the club up. So thank you to all of you. And like I was saying, we're a community-driven channel. We like to engage you. We like you to feel like you're a part of the show. When our channel succeeds, you guys succeed. It's a community thing. We're a team. And so we started doing this thing called Rate My Portfolio, where you guys submit your portfolios, submit us percentages, what's the total value, and what are your goals for your portfolio, and we will rate it on this channel. We'll talk about some of the portfolios in there. We'll give our honest thoughts, our raw and honest thoughts, no fluff, no BS. And so for this week, this is a portfolio we're rating, which, by the way, guys, if you're not following us on Twitter, go do yourselves a favor. Follow us on Twitter at SinCityCrypto1. And while you're there, follow my friend Lifer on Twitter as well. We're actually going to post, we'll post his Twitter into the chat here. But rate this portfolio $200,000, and their goal is to just get to $1 million. So a 5X in the next bull market, okay? 45%, we'll call it 46% is in Bitcoin. 33% is in Cardano, 10% in Ethereum, 4% in Quant, 2% in Hedera, and then 1% each in Algorand, Cosmos, and Stablecoin. So Lifer, knowing that this man wants to do a 5X, so from 200K to $1 million, next bull market, what would you rate it? What do you like? What do you not like? Please.
Love the 45% in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin from here can definitely do a 5X to $150,000. So I believe his biggest asset can definitely 5X. And it doesn't even have to. It could 3 or 4X, but I believe he could do that. Eventually, he will have to get rid of the USDC, right? I mean, I'm just joking around, but
that's $2,000, man.
Adam's a strong contender. I hold Adam long term. I see Adam getting back to 50, 60 bucks. Pretty, I see that happening. It's a hub. It does a lot of back end connections like Link does. It may not be as behemoth as Link, but it's behind the scenes. It's a hub. A lot of people don't realize kind of how much traction it has and how much it can connect other blockchains. I was a fan of Algo. I got it at 30 cents, sold half a bag, went up to $3, kept it, still own some of it. I just, it feels like it kind of reminds me of XRP when everyone loved it and it never did anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me like it's suspect. I don't hold it anymore. I decided to leave it alone. And I still hold what I have, but I'm like, I'd rather put in AI. I think it'll be here long term, and it's a great company. See, this is the problem. I said this the other day. You could be right and wrong at the same time. I got to go down to 2 cents. Back then, I was like, Cardano's going to be amazing. It's going to change the world. I'm holding Cardano for 10 years straight. It's going to be amazing. And then it goes from $1.31 all the way back down to 8 cents, 7 cents. And like, I really wish I had sold it at $1.31.
Yeah. Oh, Lifer, I think you muted yourself.
All right. I know my kids were screaming.
Oh, got it.
Okay. I don't know if you heard it. So basically the point is I was right about Cardano being a long-term investment, but I really should have sold it at $1.31 to this day. Like, cause I could have bought back so much more. And I had like $180,000 off of $3,600. Let's get real. So, I believe Algo can do things and it could be a great company that's going to do a lot of stuff, but I just feel like I could make way more money on another asset. I'm sorry. So HBAR, another thing, everyone loves this HBAR coin. They go all over it. I keep doing the math. For it to get $1, it has to be like a $40 billion market cap. We got to get to 5 trillion in assets. It's going to have to take such a large market share. It does have some connection, right, to ISO 222, I guess. Like, there's an idea that is it going to connect it to this new system? I'm not a fan of HBAR. Again, I think Fetch AI, I think AGIX, I think Render. I think there's like AI projects that I think will easily out. But again, that's, Quant, again, big coin, huge market cap. The only thing I like about Quant, it's got the really small supply. But again, I think these are more long-term ideas that are going to pan out over time. But I believe, you know what? If he's going for a 5X, definitely is going to get it in HBAR. Definitely going to get it, I think, with Algo. Definitely is going to get it with Atom. Definitely is going to get it with Quant. Definitely, I think he'll get it with maybe ETH is the only thing he may not get a 5X on, And I believe he's for sure going to, in 30% ADA, I like this guy. He's set. He played it pretty safe. He's not over risk. I think he's definitely going to exceed his 5X because Cardano is going to be his dark horse when it goes back to $5. I think, or at least over, I think he'll go to $5 because it was 331, man. Last one, it was 131, came down. This one went to 330, right? It's going to $5 in the next run. So you get in now at 25 cents, you got yourself a 20X,
So what would you rate it then? 1 through 10?
for what he's doing, I think he's got an 8.5.
Okay.
I like that. He's going to reach his goals. I firmly believe he will. Yeah.
So I look at it kind of similar to you, right? I break things down, and for me, I'm like, okay, he's got a little bit of stable coins. So the guy's not. He's got 200K, right? You don't just come across $200,000 unless you got life insurance money or something happened. But regardless, 200K, and if your goal is to just 5x, my initial thought is you're a pretty conservative person, and $200,000 is a lot of money. So to me, 45% Bitcoin is not enough. It's really not enough. I would be 75% Bitcoin. There's no reason to take a risk. And for those of you that have been watching this channel for a while, we talk about Cardano all the time. We're pretty big fans of Cardano. But we know Cardano has been retail driven for a very long time. They don't get the institutional love that other tokens like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum get. They're mainly retail driven. What is the market going to look like? I think we all kind of agree that the next market is going to be driven by institutional adoption and institutional money via a spot ETF and integration of enterprises with blockchain. Where does that leave Cardano? Now, not saying a 5x is not possible. That's only $1.25, which is more than 50% off of its all-time high of over $3. But to me, it's a little risky. It's a little risky. I would be 75% Bitcoin, and I would be 25% I wouldn't change anything in there. I would maybe throw some Chainlink in there, throw some Solana in there. And with this one, you kind of want to stay with, I guess, L1s that have already been in cycles. And I know you're going to say, well, Cardano is one of them. Sure. If you want to drop it lower to maybe 4 or 5% Cardano, sure. But a vast majority of my portfolio, if I was at 200K and wanted a 5X, would be in Bitcoin. For me, 150K for Bitcoin is the minimum base case. It's got the longevity. It's got the institutional adoption. We know it's going to 5X, right? We know it's going to 5X. I don't think anyone can sit here and say Bitcoin's not going to 5X in the next bull market. So I think having a third of that of 200K in Cardano with the economy the way it is and with retail struggling to pay bills, and I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. And I know it's a contrarian take here, and all the Cardano fans are probably going to jump down my throat, but that's just my opinion. But overall, I think this is great. More than likely, do I think Cardano will 5X? Yes. My biggest thing is Ethereum. Will they get to 10K? That's a pretty big number. We know the Ethereum is still having trouble scaling, right? They're still having trouble bringing down the transaction fees. People are going to point and say, well, transaction fees are low. Yeah, but no one's using it. What's going to happen when it was back in 2021 where all these NFTs were minting and all DeFi and everything else, and now institutions are coming in? What are gas fees going to look like if Ethereum doesn't do something like sharding or whatever the case may be? So that one's a little risky to me. But Quant, 5X to $500, no problem. Maybe throw a DeFi in there. But I would give this about an 8. I'll give it about an 8 out of 10. We want to know what you guys think in the chat. What would you rate this portfolio? 1 through 10, 1 being horrendous, 10 being the most perfect portfolio you have ever seen. And keep in mind, you guys, the goal of this person is to take 200K and turn it into 1 million. So essentially a 5X. Let us know what you think. Also, Lifer, I know I kind of told you we're going to go till about 3:15 here, or 3 o'clock, but we've gone past our time. But people were tuning in.
Man.
People were tuning in.
You got to work overtime in the bull run.
I just want you to know, I respect your time. It's just I respect your opinion more than I respect your time. So I kept you on longer.
When I'm on, man.
Yeah,
like, we're here for the show. To be honest, like my goal is the show, right? So, yeah, I'm always in it to win it, man.
Yeah,
I never even thought about the time once or looked at it or cared.
I know you didn't, but I'm cognizant of things, and so I like to respect people's. And all jokes aside, we love having you on. We appreciate your time, guys. If you want more Crypto Lifer, I found this pretty cool website here. So this is cryptolifer.com, and I will actually go ahead and post this in the chat right now.
Thank you.
Visit cryptolifer.com, guys. And Lifer, this is your website. So maybe tell people when they're on here, well, what are they going to find? And, if they want to navigate, and what are some things they can find on the website that you would recommend?
Well, just basically the website's really just so you can join the trading group. You know what I mean? Eventually, we are going to add resources where you can actually watch classes, buy classes, and attend courses. You know what I mean? See, you're going to have like a portal. You're going to be able to go in, but we're working on that right now. And we're actually building something pretty, really cool. We're going to be one of the biggest educational centers for crypto that you guys ever seen. And we're working on something monumental that I haven't seen in the industry yet. So when we reveal it, I think people are going to be pretty excited. But, this is where you can just jump on in. Also, it's a great place to ask questions. That support tab is just a good place. Hey, what do I get? If you just want to ask a few questions, my customer support is awesome. And you can ask kind of any question you want. Jump on in there and put your email and, send that to us or, contact us. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Right now, it's just got some resources and it tells you kind of what you get in the trading group. It describes what you're going to get and it describes kind of how to pay. It's because people feel more comfortable too when you own your own payment network. You know what I mean? I'm not going to a third party now. And that's what really this is. There's a lot of API back and forth to the Discord. And this is a very a long, painstaking process to connect it all and have it all working beautifully. So,
and I know you spent a lot of money on the website domain name too.
Yeah.
I know you did.
$7,000, I think. $7,000.
We were like, sensitivecrypto.com is taken. Screw that. We're not paying. We're going with the IO.
I hired like an intern and he kept being like, you need to buy, he eventually started working for us and he's like, you need to buy the domain. And I was like, dude, I got IO, leave me alone. I'm like, I'm not there yet. And then one day he kept saying it and finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to show up to the staff meeting and just tell everyone that I basically put half my month's profit on the but it panned out. It worked great. And, reinvest in your company, everyone. That's just like a good business decision. Like you could buy a watch, you could buy all this nonsense, reinvest in your company. It's only going to come back to you tenfold and be in love with your business.
Amen to that. All right. So I got a lot of, it's kind of scrolling through here. A lot of 6s, 7s. We got some 8s in here, 7.5. French toaster, 7.9. Wow. Rocco said -2. What is that?
Is the countdown to open
the like.
clap.
Oh, the like. Okay. Flat Smack gave it an F- because it didn't have Casper. Come on, man. Unacceptable.
Mine was a solid 8.
That was terrible. Also, we had a $2 super chat from JR. Said, Lifer would have loved mine, Casper, Caspa, XRP, and Hedera. And also, Jimmy gifted 20 memberships. We haven't had the sugar daddy, Jimmy, pop out of the Pandora box in a while here. So, Jimmy, thank you, my friend. We appreciate it. So guys, it did look like we hit 250 likes, which Lifer, have you ever been on the show where we open up the club?
Yeah, of course, man.
You have.
Yeah.
You ready, bro?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Are you sitting or are you standing?
I'm always at my stand-up desk.
You're standing. Okay. So you and Rob have an advantage. We opened up the club. What was it, yesterday, Rocco?
Yeah.
We opened up the club yesterday. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I'm sitting down. And I don't get to stand up and move my whole body. So it's just my upper body. And I got to do this weird shoulder thing. So yesterday, I had to show people my real moves. I got up. I stood behind Robin's desk and I was dancing. I won't do that today. But guys, in honor of you.
Flying at the beginning of the show. I saw you flying at the beginning. Were you
saw me. Oh, yeah. Like we're flying high into the moon, baby.
You can do the finger tornado too if you want.
Yeah. Oh, the finger tornado dance. Anyways, guys, when we hit milestones here, we like to celebrate with our community. And well, Las Vegas, we're known for a few things. Terrible NFL team, the Raiders. Amazing hockey team, the Golden Knights. And nightclubs. And well, what we do when we hit our big milestones is we open up the club. Rocco! Open up the club, baby.
There we go.
When the guys are at the wedding, there's like the tie on their head, right? You just plug out.
Bust out the chest hair, baby.
I saw that before.
Oh, man. Guys, what an amazing show. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, Rob had some things to take care of, but Lifer, I don't know if you can hear me because we don't have your headphones on, but
I'm like tearing up now.
I saw that.
Oh, you're good. I was just saying, man, Rob had some stuff to take care of today, and I texted you last night, you graciously were able to fill in and help us out, man. We appreciate you. We consider you a friend, a part of our channel. We love you, man. Thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, your wisdom, your enthusiasm, your freaking energy. We love it. We love having you on. And we want to officially, so Halloween last year was a banger, right? We had Michael Saylor, we had you, we had Jenna. I want to run it back, man. I want to formally invite you on the show to our Halloween special. I'm hearing Saylor might come back. I'm hearing we might be joined by the founder of a top project this time. So, man, if you got time on your schedule, we'd love to have you back again on Tuesday, a week from today for Halloween 2023.
I think I know what it'll be. I think I could
us?
pull off a date. I think I could do you. I think I could pull you off.
Stop it.
While you pull, yeah. What if I come?
You're going to make me look bad, man. You look better than I do. Come on, man. You can't make me look bad.
I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to work on your
Wow. Is that how I sound? That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. Man, I thought you were on my side, bro. Rob's not here. Listen, I don't need another Rob here, right?
About Bitcoin. Okay? If it's in your portfolio.
You need glasses, okay? Man, guys, I do want to give one last shout out to channel sponsors, Cam's Blue Wire Tech. If you want to learn how they can help your business, visit bluewiretech.com. Or click the link in the description of this video. Also, big thank you to Radix, the top layer 1 DeFi in our space. We here at Sin City Crypto, their team is amazing. The founder, the marketing, everyone, they're amazing. We're so excited to see what Radix is going to do in the next bull market, what kind of onboarding and bringing new users and dApps. And so if you want to learn more, visit radixclt.com. And with that being said, Rocco, what an amazing Tuesday today was. Come back tomorrow for even more of an amazinger show. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On behalf of all of us here at Sin City Crypto, we love you guys. Until tomorrow. Peace.
Crypto. Everybody know we here for.
David should dress up as a roast beef sandwich.
That big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win.
Nando, dress up as a roast beef sandwich. That's funny. That did cross my mind, dude, but I think Saylor wants to come back, man. Saylor wants to come back. He misses us. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.